Welcome back to the final video in the initial setup for your Benefic marketing platform. If you have not watched the previous videos on business profile setup, adding in your team, setting up calendars, emails, phone numbers, and many other things, make sure you go back and check out the other videos in this playlist to ensure that your setup is completely filled in and ready to go. Today, we're going to talk just a little bit about contacts and opportunities or setting up your pipelines. These are probably the two most important things that you will use outside of the initial setup before you start diving into the rest of the platform. So let's tackle contacts first. So in our account here, we're just under dashboard. We're going to scroll down here to contacts. Go ahead and open this up. In this particular demo account, I've got one uh, example contact for us to take a look at, but I wanted to highlight a few things on the page here. The first one is that we've got a bunch of kind of buttons and different things we can use here up at the top. As we have more and more contacts within here, we'll be able to use the filter tool to allow us to filter out by different activity, different tags, different uh, uh, individuals who own the contact. So team member one versus team member two. There's some automation type stuff you can check in on here. You can send messages or SMS from here, emails. So let's say I want to choose John and I want to choose, three other individuals. We can send them a SMS or send them an email all directly from a click of a button. We can also add or remove tags. So maybe it's your database nurture or something else like that. Newsletter enrollment, you can change, add or subtract those in bulk directly from this screen here. If you're an admin or a high level user within the account, you can delete contacts and you can also export and import contacts. You can favorite them, you can WhatsApp them. There's again, multitude of different things that can be done. Probably the big one to know for the setup purposes is how to import contacts. So this is going to require a CSV file, so a stripped down kind of Excel type of a document that has some fields in there. So think of first name, last name, email, phone number, and maybe a couple different things that you can map into this particular platform. We're going to want to make sure that we import that entire list from wherever it lives today. So maybe that lives in an email sending software that you've used before. Maybe it's a previous CRM. Maybe it's your point of sale system. You exported everybody out of there. But once you have your entire list and you've got the CSV file kind of filled in and ready to go, we're going to want to import that. So you'll simply click import. You will choose if you're importing contacts or opportunities. In this case, it would be contacts. We will hit next, and then we will upload our file. Once it's uploaded, it's going to allow us to move to this next piece, which is map. So what that's going to be doing is saying, we've got a column titled first name. What do I want to map that to in this particular account? Well, there's this spot for a contact called first name. So we want to make sure that those two things are connected. You're going to do the same thing for last name, for phone number, for email, and then maybe a couple additional things that may be in that list. And then you'll verify and hit execute or save, and it will continue to move that and upload all of them. Now, that does take a few minutes, but this is the process for importing. So that's going to be the first thing that you're going to want to know when it comes to setting up your account. Any additional contacts you want to bring over, make sure that you do import your list so that you've got your contacts to be able to track and communicate with. In the contact file, so if you click on the contact, this is what the contact file looks like. There's not a lot from the setup standpoint, but you will want to make sure that you're filling in whatever information that you do have about your contacts that maybe didn't get mapped over before. You've got your conversation thread here. You can send them emails. When phone numbers are set up, you can actually SMS message them directly from here. And then over on the right side, you've got total activity. So this is like they saw or visited pages, they've filled different forms, they've booked an appointment, different things like that. You've got tasks. You can set reminder tasks. You can add in different notes, book appointments directly from here, upload any documents that are important to them. And then when your payment stuff is set up, you can also take payments and see their transactions and subscriptions from here as well. So this is the full contact side that I wanted to just quickly touch base on today. The next one is going to be opportunities. So we'll click on opportunities, and this is going to be our pipeline. So pipeline is, think of this a couple different ways. The most important way to look at it is from all of the leads that come in. So I have a new lead that comes in. What happens from there? What stage, what level are they at? What meetings do they need to come through, or what's the sales cycle before they become a customer or a client? That is really the first iteration of this. Now, you may have a second pipeline that is set up for customer journey. Hey, they became a customer. Here's the things that they go through their life cycle. If you're in a business where you have recurring customers that end up canceling, you can set up a client cancellation pipeline. Hey, the notification came in on this day, so they're in this bucket. I made sure I moved them out of that bucket when I've turned off their payments, and they're officially offboarded completely. And maybe that's the third thing here. So you will want to set up the pipeline to match what your business process is. By clicking here, you can see multiple different um, pipelines. You can have as many as you want. This could be one, it could be three, it could be 10, just depending on what your business needs are. To set these up, you simply click on the button here that says pipelines. You can then edit or add any pipeline that you would like. So go ahead and edit this one here, and you can see there's a bunch of different stages in this one. You can have 3 stages, you can have 4 stages, you can have as many as you want, and you can simply title and change them as they go through the funnel. Lead status as an example, we've got one that's new leads came in, were added to the database. Subscriber, they opted into communication for campaigns. MQL stands for marketing qualified lead, SQL for sales qualified. So marketing qualified them, sales qualified them. Maybe they became an opportunity where we had a sales conversation and, they did enroll or they didn't enroll, that sort of thing. So you can set all of those things here, hit save, have come back to opportunities. This is what it looks like here in this phase. And you've got kind of your visual representation of where your leads fit within the overall pipeline. To add an opportunity, you can simply come over here to add opportunity, and then you select your contacts. We'll take John Doe here. We'll autofill most of his information. You can name it. It will default to his name, and let's say new service. We're going to put it in this pipeline where I'm creating it now, and I want to start here at added to database. We'll default to open. When we deem this to be lost or won, we can change those later on. Set an opportunity value. Let's say he's looking at a service that's worth $100. So I think that's what we're going to end up being able to sell to him. So we'll set that up at $100. Set your user. So I'm going to have John Smith be the owner of this. He's the one, this is his deal. John Smith is here on our team. You can set followers if you have additional team members that want to be following this one. You can add the business name for the person if you're in a B2B type of a business, and opportunity source. Where did this opportunity come from overall? If you have tags set up, you can set up different things like, oh, I know that they are enrolled in the newsletter. Let's make sure that we tag that here. Simply hit create. Now that opens up additional things. So these are the primary details that we've filled in. But now we can also add or review tasks. We can add notes and payments and be able to track all of that right here in this opportunity card. If any changes are made, simply hit update, and then you can X out of this, and we've got our opportunity card sitting here in leads. Well, let's say I've had a conversation with John, and John has filled in a form. We've had a conversation. We've deemed him to be sales qualified. Okay, we haven't gotten into the sales meeting yet, but we've deemed him as sales qualified, and I want that to be something that our team is going to continue to follow up with. Now I have the ability to either click and drag and move him over to SQL, or I can click into it and actually change the stage right here. Go ahead and hit update, close out of here, and now we can see this is where John lives in the pipeline. So this is just a very quick example of how to use it. Your use cases can be a little bit different based on how your business is set up and what your customer journey looks like. But this is how you set up and use contacts and opportunities within the platform to be able to track your marketing and sales and delight all of the amazing customers and clients that you have within your business.